So sometimes you'll come across a window that's just too large for you to clean all from one position. So let's talk about breaking up a large piece of glass into smaller sections and cleaning them incrementally. So let's imagine that this piece of glass is just a little too wide for me to reach all the way to the far edge. All I'm going to do is treat it as if it's two windows. I'm going to scrub the half that I can reach and just go as far as I can. And I'm going to clean that portion from a comfortable position. And I'm going to finish there at the bottom, and then I'm just going to change position and basically pick up where I left off. Now it's good to overlap a few inches just to make sure that you're not missing anything. But I've basically taken a large window here and broken it into two separate sections so that I can comfortably clean it from a couple of different positions. And this is actually more efficient than, for instance, a big, long, wide window, scrubbing it and having to take a few steps horizontally to be able to reach the whole width of it, and then having to continue to repeat that process as you work your way all the way across from side to side on a big piece of glass. So it's okay to break down a large window or a large pane into smaller sections, even quarters if you need to, or thirds, whatever makes the most sense. And the same goes for vertically tall windows. If they're too tall for you to efficiently clean from top all the way to bottom in a fluid, efficient motion, then just do the top half and go down and get into a more comfortable position and do the bottom half. So when you approach large pieces of glass, decide at that point, is it something you want to try to clean all from one position, or is it better to break it down into sections and clean it more efficiently that way? So let's look at another example of this principle in action. Let's imagine that this window is really tall, goes all the way to the ground, and it's going to require me to go from top to bottom to get into a few different positions, and it's not going to be a very efficient way to actually squeegee this window. So we can simply divide the window vertically into two sections. So all I would do is scrub and clean the top half, and then when I get to a height where it's becoming less efficient or less comfortable to continue on, I would stop, I would change my position. Maybe I'm moving down on a ladder. That might be an example of where you'd use this method. So moving down a few rungs on the ladder, and I'm going to pick up where I left off. I'm going to overlap a few inches just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And I'm going to, again, go from top down. And just repeat that process as many times as you need to until you get to the bottom of the window. So again, the principle is, if the window is a size and shape where it doesn't make sense to go from edge to edge, top to bottom, side to side in one fluid motion, just break it up into sections so that you can attack the surface in an efficient manner, and there's no rules against doing it that way. Sometimes it just makes the most sense.